Why, hello there, my friends. It's Admiral Revan here. Hope you're all doing well. And today we actually do a bit of a video dev blog update and everything. So thanks everybody for hanging in there with me and everything. And we're coming back together, and good things are coming. Pretty much I have been keeping an eye on a few things from where I left off. And most recently, I am now in a position of getting back into the swing of things, which is fantastic. And now we are almost on the road to the light at the end of the tunnel right now. Pretty much things are coming back slowly. I have to admit that the internet and everything for me will be back by the end of the month or early next week. So fingers crossed. It's all working out very well. And also we got a bit of an announcement to make. I will be starting my new job in about less than a month away, which is fantastic. And also coming back to streaming as well, pretty much by Easter anyhow. And that is another announcement that I wanted to share. So that I'll be coming back to streaming as of Easter 2022. Pretty much I'm looking forward to it, and let the good times roll. So where are we catching up from this? Well, there's a lot of things happening. So there's a lot of dev blogs been up to date and everything, but I will give you a bit of an update on a couple other things too. So if you're interested in terms of supporting me for my merchandise store, there's some cool new things going on in terms of merchandise store. There's actually some new mugs, my clan t-shirts, as well as logos, as well as different merchandise, key rings, new mugs. There's a new Admiral Revan mug that is now available. The women now have a taste of some cool merchandise, water bottles, key rings, as I said, flip-flops or thongs or sandals, and also new hats and merchandise as well too. There's a lot of cool stuff that's been rebranded. Furthermore, there's also big thanks to Linktree. Now Linktree is a free program that people can use for advertising their social media and stuff like that, and it's actually very handy. And it actually is now been updated to my Twitter page, and pretty much all this cool shortcut links will actually take you to some cool things here that you can check out. Keep in mind though that this information that you'll see here will subject to be up to date from now on, in terms of anything that I'm part of. So that includes groups and communities I'm members of, also the merchandise store link, as well as the social media like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, of course. Anything that's on there will always get up to date. Now, this is a bit of an eye-opening moment here. So pretty much from where I left off, the World of Warships has been busy since I've been away. Now, I have to admit, the turtle ship armor for the Chung, I have to admit, I was skeptical about the look of it and the feel of it. And some people were just saying it just, it doesn't look that fancy. Well, they may be right. And there's also a few other things that I thought was actually pretty good to have these tokens for the Italian destroyers. These tokens for the Italian destroyers are a bit hard to get or obtain. If you have a lot of doubloons, like some people do, you know that for a fact that they'll probably burn it up and just get to the tier 10 Italian DDs just for the sake of it. And honestly, it's just Attilio Rigolo, sorry, is, they're nice ships, but, honestly, the camos, the designs for them is actually pretty cool. I'm not against that for the Italian look and feel. But there are some things that in the game that I feel that it's a bit out of place. Like, for example, see this message from Sicily. Basically, if you doing it correctly, you'll be able to go to the armory and actually collect your rewards and actually get a tier 2 Italian DD out of it if possible, and that's pretty cool. There's also some other things that you can check out on. There's like if you're a member of Amazon Prime, you can actually get a tier 4 warship, which is the turbine, which is pretty good. Also, there are some like doubloons that you can spend on. Again, random bundles, and also even this one here for the Italian destroyers, you can actually work your way up and actually get the tier 9 Adri to go, which is pretty nice premium warship all around. There's also another bundle that you can go through, which is you get the tier 3 Nazario Saru, which is pretty cool as well, which is a cheaper bundle for you to gamble on if you wish. I have to admit though that these ships are pretty cool. All of them are very nice. I will have to say that very openly that even though it's nice, they can be quite expensive. So I will say this very openly that when you look at this right now, go 1, 2, so 8, 13, 19. Yeah, so that's like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 48, so 50 on that, 50 of that, that's 50,000 doubloons. Plus, that's not adding, by the way, the other 10 treasure of Rome, so that's very expensive. So I can say to you that this is a very expensive gambling mechanic. I would recommend it to anyone out there if you were trying to get it. Now, there's other things that I want to let you know and talk about it, because the latest dev blogs and news announcements have got me intrigued. Like, for example, the climb for the Torplushie. Well, the climb for the Torplushie, I have to admit it's actually an interesting event. You can actually do torps hits and artillery hits on targets, depending on what game mode you're in. And the good thing is that you actually can participate and get some rewards, so make sure you participate in that offer. Now, as you're looking in, out of all this, you will get some like a prize of 5,000 doubloons, which is actually pretty nice, which is not too bad. Let's talk about getting something for rewards for doubloons, shall we? So basically, there's a whole heap, a bunch of news articles for you to go through, and mind you that sometimes that the best way that I find getting this information is actually in the game itself. So here we are, we're in the game itself for World of Warships. Now, honestly, I'm just like just chilling out in port on my North American account in this video, just for showing for shenanigans and purposes here. So when you go to the news articles on the page here, depending which server you're on, whether it's NA, EU, Asia server, or CIS, and depending whichever server you're on, they'll have a whole bunch of news articles that you can check out on. Now, as you can see here, the climb for the Torplushie, the offer there, I just actually clicked on claim to participate. So let's go have a look at the other ones. Now, here's the some videos about the Orkan, and there's also some interesting history on that, which is pretty cool. But check that out as another gift for you to go ahead and join in on. Obviously, the turtle ship in the armory. You also can get the camo for it if you wish. There's a whole bunch of rewards though, but I mean, like as I said about the Italian destroyers and that, yeah, if you're a collector, like many wallet warriors out there who do want to spend the money for it and have the money for it, go for it. There are a lot of people out there who have a lot of doubloons. For the sake of it, they want to blow the money out of the water just to get the latest and greatest ship out there in the fleet. More power to you. more power to you. The good thing about it is that there's also like the St. Patrick's Day event that's been and gone already. The St. Patrick's event was actually pretty nice. They had very nice camos on the Belfast, also the Belfast 43. And you still can get the Commander at the moment if you want to go get it still, and the camo for the Belfast and the Belfast 43, but it really comes down to you. And also that there is the Ragnar dragon ship that you can actually get using your tokens to actually get the armor, well, the new camo look for it anyway. And I think that's alright. That looks alright though. There's a whole heap of bunch of, premium counter doubloon time that you can acquire at a fair price on the premium shop as well. Now, super warships. I have to warn you folks that the super warships, in my opinion, there is a bit of an announcement coming out to you soon about that, so stay tuned. I will explain that more in this video. So basically, as you know, that the super ships have been out for quite a while, for some time, like the United States, the Eagle, the Yamagiri, the Conde, Zorki, Hanover, Satsuma, Annapolis. Now, there are some ships that are out there at the moment are in testing phase, but due to NDA reasons, I can't really talk much about it. So let's just focus what I can talk about. So what I can say is that super ships are coming. Let's leave it like that. So when I'm saying super ships are coming, they're coming out in a more regular basis. Basically in this one here, that like this news announcement, they're talking about super ships rent, and also there's a knowledge is key to power, mission here, and you can actually unlock it and actually go forth and kick ass with it. Now, there's also how to get free premium ships in the public test. Now, there's a whole heap of interesting information with a lot of wealth for you to digest. Now, the thing is that with this one here, there's a lot of opportunity here to understand that you can participate in the public test server with getting at least 2,500 tokens. But it was actually mentioned about it in the first round of 11.3 that's coming up. So that's actually pretty cool. There is a separate article that has come out for that. Be sure to check it out. And definitely we'll go and explain all this devblog reviews and stuff in the actual this video. So stay tuned for that. Now, there's also the public test server 11.3, and that is now in progress. And there's a whole heap of new things that's come out on there, which I will reveal about more in this video. If you don't have the PTS download, please go ahead and do it now. The one thing I have to say is that the subs have come back in the game, and I have really remain myself skeptical about everything going on. But hey, wait a minute, check this out. So this is the developer bulletin blog for 11.3, and there's a reward for you if you scroll down all the way further past the underwater world improvements part of the section, because there is some tokens you can acquire and things like that. So, like Wargaming has come out swinging with some interesting gifts in that. And now subs have come back on a more regular basis. There's a lot of information here, so don't forget to collect your rewards and stuff like that. Definitely go check out the Prime Gaming things. So, pardon me, I was not expecting that. But yes, that is a very interesting moment there with the actual Prime game stuff as well for Amazon Prime. This is what I was telling you about. If you already have your account linked to it, you could win both the Emden and also some of the rewards that you can get for it too. Now, There's also Italian destroyers review as well. An article about that has revealed a lot of things about the Italian destroyers and everything that's in it. But wait, this is not the end of it all. I mean, like, this is just like the beginning. So, with the dev blogs, I'm about to show you the dev blogs, but I want to talk to you about a sensitive topic that not many people like. And I'll be honest with you, let's be upfront and honest about super warships and World of Warships. How do you feel about them? I mean, like, I have to ask this question to you. Let me just ask you, as a person who is brand new to the game or anything, when you first saw super warships, what do you think of them? When I first saw them, I thought they were fun, they're new, and it was a good time to enjoy them, right? As an eventful thing. But when it comes down to as a regular thing, this is where I start being weary and a bit concerned. For me, I honestly play the game to have fun and enjoy it with my friends. But when I see super warships, tier 11 equivalent warships being introduced and thrown out in the game, it is a bit of a scary moment where we realize that we're going to have, these warships up against, World War One or World War II ships that are not exactly considered that balance between these things. And honestly, I have seen these warships in action. And I can tell you this much, that these warships, in general, they're pretty cool. You see, the Annapolis, for example, has rapid firing guns if you choose to use that mode. And it actually is a pretty decent cruiser for Americans. And the French cruiser Condé has definitely got that idea as well too. And they both are pretty good fire starters. Satsuma, on the other hand, it's more like a Yamato build style warship with bigger guns. And it has the same idea with the Citadel, I have to admit, and the weak spot of that is still there. But the thing is, it does pack a punch, it does deliver the payload, and, the accuracy of the guns in that is pretty nice. Especially the secondaries and also the anti-aircraft defense. Hanover, on the other hand, if you're pretty much a German fan, the dispersion is sometimes can be shocking, but if you aim it correctly and time it right, the dispersion it can be your ally, and actually it does pack a serious punch and blow to all the tier 10 and 9 warships. Now, with that being said though, seeing these warships that I'm mentioning right now, they were in the grand battle mode, and as you know, Yamaguri is actually pretty fun to play, and it's got a lot of torpedo bays. The other thing is that the Zorki, the Russian destroyer Zorki, is actually pretty fun to play as well too. It reminds me as if you're playing a Karbrosk. And also the United States carrier, which is pretty interesting. It has some good planes on it, different, gameplay style. But the funny thing about it all is the jets, and that brings me to the Eagle as well, the British aircraft carrier, which is also pretty interesting. The jet aircraft for the United States and Eagle was a bit exaggerated in my opinion, because when Wargaming first introduced these jet planes, I thought they were fun, they're enjoyable, it's funny, great memes, and you actually can cause little shenanigans in the battlefield. And the biggest thing about it is that you can actually rush in, spot the enemy, and basically cause havoc in the process. There are moments there you're just like sitting there like, well, I spotted the enemy for you guys, you might as well go find them and shoot them down. Well, yeah, Yeah, how about that? So, like there are moments like you just raise a question, an eyebrow, and a few other things as well too. Now, I'll be honest with you. I mean, like, I just think that, seeing super warships in World of Warships is a bit of a mistake, in my opinion. And that is pretty much one of the reasons why I'm really concerned about where this game direction is going. Because what I'm about to reveal right now is the closed testing of 11.3. Now, you'll be wondering about 11.3. When is it coming out and everything? Well, my friends, you're going to have it all answered here. So, less than 14 days away, and the time of this video recording, that you'll notice that the new patch will be coming out for 11.3, and you have all these super warships coming out into your ports and the tech tree, and it'll be a researchable item to get. I will admit though that it'll be pretty expensive to research them to get it done, and here is the reasons why. So as you can see here that with clan battles and everything going on in play right now, they start raving on about it regarding to the rank season and a few other things about it all. We finally get to see them as a permanent thing in the game. Yes, but before I say anything further, I will say that, and a bit of a discretion, please advise that these bloody ships are very expensive. And I'm not kidding you. So, the devblog that I'm going to be revealing to you in this video is pretty much a very expensive item. Now, what you're about to see is that right here, as you can tell right here in the corner here, that the super battleships are about 57 million in-game credits, and also carriers are about nearly 48 million, and as well as super cruisers are 47,500,000 47,500,000 in-game credits, and 45 million for the super destroyers. Now, I have to admit that is just unreal. That's like very expensive. It's really bad, and the costing for it. What makes it worse, folks, is that in regarding to these ships, is that the repair cost for them is going to be expensive as well. Because they do mention here, and I will show it on this in more detail, that one of the most important aspects to consider when adding super ships to the tech tree is their economy, meaning their post-battle income and the maintenance cost. Over the years of active development, and the game's economy has, in a sense, accelerated due to many bonuses and economic signals introduced, making it easy to earn credits, or even the most expensive to maintain tier 10 warships, and significantly influencing their popularity. To paraphrase this in more detail, what they're saying is that basically that we have a habit of using the special flags that we've been given, and also the economy flags, and we're making a lot of in-game, credits. Well, that's because we're winning battles and stuff like that. Well, I mean, here's the other thing about it all, is that when it comes to super ships, we decided to change our approach in order to prevent them from becoming too popular in the matchmaker, and to ensure that tier 10 ships have economic advantage over them. Wow, that's interesting. So the credit earnings of super ships will be similar to the tier 10 warships, which is fair enough. Post-battle servicing costs for super ships will be set to 360,000, sorry. 360,000 in-game credits. Permanent camouflages on super ships will not reduce the servicing costs or the increase in credit earnings. However, they will give high XP battle per bonus. That's fair enough, but I will admit, having these warships in there, it will be very expensive. Now, here's a very interesting one. The addition of the super ships to the tech tree will not affect the research bureau in any way. The super ships cannot be reset. So if you reset the corresponding branch, you'll keep the super ship. So basically, if you were to reset the Yamato battleship line, you will have the Satsuma still, regardless of which is pretty cool. I mean, like that. Well, mind you, it is pretty damn expensive to pay for that bloody thing. But I can see there's a bit of a problem here. Not everyone can have a super warship. To begin with, tier 10 warships are very expensive to keep and get. In a way, they're about 25 million in-game credits, as I think last time I checked. Anyway, less than 30 mil, just to be safe. But they are very expensive. They're not cheap, and it is very interesting where this mindset is going with winning the game, company, and everything. So, But in a way, it's the restriction of clan battles that we were talking about earlier. It is very interesting how things are panning out in Season 14 for clan battles. Mind you that they've been working through the meta and establishing, like balancing and also what should be there and what should not be there in the game kind of thing. Which, by the way, that they have banned the Petro. And they might be banning another ship soon in the near future at this rate, which is, I don't know, it's crazy, man. But pretty much they've been focusing on the statistics as well as the win rate and popularity. So they want to make sure that like teams are well balanced and they have a good time, and depending on the player's skill and stuff. The win rate and popularity, it's a bit of an interesting story because like they're trying to balance it out for clan battles, for teams to go up against certain teams, which is okay, I guess. But I mean, like I still think they're having trouble in doing so at this stage. Judging by its win rate, Ship A is not given teams a significant advantage in battle despite its popularity, so that's another story altogether. I have to admit though, this devblog is a bit lengthy, definitely for you to read. So definitely read this and understand this because they're really trying to focus on balancing teams for different leagues. Like for example, have Hurricane and Typhoon leagues going up against each other, and have a world dedicated for them from that in that area, whereas anything like Gale or Storm League is considered second rate, if you will. But also there's also the things below that players are still clans are still getting together for that sort of thing. So it is one of those things. One of the other things I've noticed is that the clan battles that they have banned the Petropavlovsk and Tashkent. Wait a minute, no, I should take that back. They have made a change to the balancing changes with the Petropavlovsk and the Tashkent. So basically, the Petropavlovsk, in a way, by the way, in clan battles is banned. I understand the story behind that, but it's just I can find out more later on. But looks like the Petropavlovsk, the freeboard was changed. The ship is risen by 0.5 meters. Yay! Seriously? Yeah, anyway. But the Tashkent, on the other hand, the freeboard was changed. The ship is submerged by 0.4 meters, so it has actually shrunk down a little bit. But you know what? All these changes are subject to change. That's soon to happen and stuff like that. The test ships, like the Hornet and the Brest, there's some interesting new changes coming out for them, I have to admit. They mostly focus on the bombers' sap shells. No, not bombers' sap shells. The bombers like output of damage, but in this one they really have focused on the injury boost, and for the Hornet in a way. And in terms of the San Diego American Cruiser Tier 8, the inaccuracy tracer color for sap shells has been fixed as well, which is pretty cool. And also the Brest, which is the French cruiser, and that's being worked on. That they fixed a bug that caused the repair party consumable to restore 30% of the cylinder damage instead of the intended 10%. Contrary to design concept of the branch. Wow, okay. So they're working on it. There's a lot of things that are subject to change here. But the super carriers, they're really working on it really hard. There's a lot of things that have been working on it to make them better, more improved and everything. All support carriers are equipped with squadrons armed with special stun bombs. For which nation? To support aircraft carriers. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting though, because there'll be some good defensive measures for them, but also better output and damage as well too, and detection as well. But yeah, it is interesting to see where this is going. It is very interesting to see where this is going. Definitely will keep posted for this for updates and stuff like that, but you know, this is actually not bad. So in a nutshell, folks, I think wargaming is taking things in a bit of a different direction, and you got that less than 14 days right there, folks, to get ready for the next update. And honestly, there it is right above me for North American server and Russia. And there's Asia on the side there, and EU is pretty much at the same time length with me as well too. So basically we're looking at about 15 to 16 days away from now. The final countdown has begun, and the countdown for the PTS usage has been done. It's finished up already, and honestly it is, well, the ranked battles and bonus missions end in 43 days. Clan battle season ends in less than 12, well, 13 days, I should say. But Savage Battles ends at least about like 16 days thereabouts. But you know, like honestly, this is a bit of an eye-opener experience for all of us. Definitely, I would recommend this to everyone out there. If you're in a situation that you don't like the super ships or anything like that, or feel they'll be nerfed or anything like that, you need to give the feedback to Wargaming. And pretty much from what I'm seeing is that with all these articles and everything, like, oh, fine and dandy, but honestly, half the stuff I've been reading up on there, it just blows my mind away. It just really does. So yeah, I honestly don't know where to from here, but we'll see how things pan out. But folks, thanks for joining and tuning in. Definitely stay safe, take care, and we'll do another DevBlog review for World of Warships in the near coming future. Hopefully with some good vibes and everything as well too. Until then, for now, stay safe, take care, and it's been fantastic catching up with you all, and try and don't do anything I would do. If you do, definitely don't name it after me, but stay safe and enjoy yourself. Have a good one.